Hey guys, Maggiore Soap here from DevTac, Developmental Tactics Airsoft Team here in San Diego, California. For those of you on the East Coast, I apologize for the palm trees and sort of blue sky in the background. Kind of had to rub it in your face a little bit, just a little bit. On a more serious note, this video today is, I'm doing this to talk about the Senate Bill 199, SB199 here in California. There's been a lot of talk about this. I've been a huge proponent of, getting this thing stopped. Spreading all kinds of memes and photos and videos and stuff around Facebook, and I've probably spammed all the groups you're in with info about it. But this is something that we really can't afford to stand quiet on and let pass. There have been some misconceptions about this bill, and I think it's important that we clarify some of these things to make sure that everyone's really clear on what's going on and what they're trying to do. So the first thing that needs to be addressed is that this bill does not outlaw airsoft by name. Some people have been thinking that, we're overreacting here. No, we get that it does not outlaw airsoft by name. However, what they're trying to do will effectively end airsoft as we know it, the realistic side, the realistic sport. So, moving into the wording of the bill, and then talk about some of the reasons behind it and what we can do as a community to prevent bills like this from coming up again in the future. So first off, I've got a copy of the bill right here in front of me. You can go online. I'll put a link in the description of this video, but you can go online and read this for yourself. Essentially, what the bill aims to do is it is going to redefine what an airsoft gun is classified as under the law. As it stands right now, Section 16250 of the California Penal Code reads that an airsoft gun is a BB device, right? Meaning any instrument that expels a projectile, such as a BB or pellet, not exceeding 6 millimeters in caliber, through force of air pressure, gas pressure, or spring action, or any spot marker gun. Spot marker being a paintball gun. The first thing that this bill aims to do is to strike the not exceeding 6 millimeter caliber from the bill. What that means is that a BB device no longer exists except for with a spot marker gun. It would essentially reclassify airsoft guns as imitation firearms. As used in Section 20165, imitation firearm does not include any of the following. 1. A non-firing collector's replica that is historically significant and is offered for sale in conjunction with a wall plaque or presentation case. 2. A BB device spot marker gun which expels a projectile that is greater than 10 millimeter caliber, or 3, a device where the entire exterior surface of the device is white, bright red, bright orange, bright yellow, bright green, bright blue, bright pink, or bright purple, either singly or as the predominant color in any combination with other colors in any pattern, as provided by federal regulations governing imitation firearms, or where the entire device is constructed of a transparent or translucent materials, which permits unmistakable observation of the device's complete contents, again, as provided by federal regulations concerning or governing imitation firearms. Now, right here, there are two things that are important to note. BB device is struck from the definition in Section 2, meaning that it now says spot marker gun which expels a projectile that is greater than 10 millimeters caliber, essentially a paintball gun. And in Section 3, it strikes the cross-reference to federal regulations and legislation, so we no longer have, the federal regulation to fall back on. Now it's up to California's law regarding imitation firearms and coloration. Basically, what this does is it redefines airsoft guns as imitation firearms, which then requires them to be painted any of those colors that I mentioned earlier: white, bright red, orange, yellow, green, blue, pink, or purple. Notice there is, nowhere in there does it say tan, olive drab, foliage green, Cryptek, whatever. It's got to be one of those ridiculous bright colors. Think Nerf guns. It's got to look like that. Or a Super Soaker, right? Those kind of colors. Or it can be clear. It really defeats the purpose of an airsoft gun, right? I mean, what are airsoft guns? I'm not an expert on airsoft history, but from what I understand, they grew to popularity in Japan because in Japan it's illegal to own a real firearm. So they created toy guns, right? Replica firearms, not toy guns, replica firearms that fire little plastic, tiny little BBs. So people can have what looks like a real gun, but isn't. Obviously, this poses a problem, and we're all well aware of this, right? when you have your airsoft gun, do you take it outside? No, you don't take it outside. Do you brandish it in public? No, you don't do that either. Where do you use it? Well, you can use it in the safety of your own home, enclosed, where it will not be mistaken for a real firearm by a passerby, or at a sanctioned field, preferably there, right, at a sanctioned field. We would have to paint our guns bright color. There is no grandfathering here, right? The law goes into effect. We have to change our stuff, not, hope that maybe something, is passed where it says, oh, anything bought before 2014 is good to go. No, we're screwed. We have to paint all our guns in bright, ridiculous colors. Now, for me, part of the reason I got interested in airsoft is because it's the weapons are so realistic looking, right? The replicas are so realistic looking. That's always been the point for me of airsoft. It's always been the point for a lot of people. You can have a replica of a gun that you can't actually own, and you can shoot your friends with it, and nobody gets hurt. Well, nobody dies, right? If the bill is amended and we all have to paint our guns, just think for a second. Are you going to keep playing airsoft if you have to run around with a bright orange gun or a bright green, a gun the color of my water bottle? I probably won't. I'll tell you right now, I probably won't. At least not to the same degree I do now. So that's gonna be a huge hit to our hobby. It's gonna be a huge hit to all of the retailers in the hobby that carry airsoft guns and airsoft gun parts. It's going to be an even bigger hit to distributors, such as Spartan Imports. They're based out of the Bay Area in California here, up by San Francisco. They won't be able to import anything unless it's either manufactured in that bright color or it's painted before arriving in that bright color. For those of you outside of California, even if people do keep bringing guns into California and distributing them in bright colors, you now have 2 additional costs associated with buying an airsoft gun. You have to have the gun painted before it comes here, and then you have to get it painted again or do it yourself after it arrives at your house. Those are 2 more things that just make airsoft guns more expensive, and I think we all agree that this is an expensive hobby as it is, right? We don't want to have to spend more money than necessary. And furthermore, it's going to put thousands upon thousands of Americans here in California out of jobs. It's going to shut down a lot of major businesses, and it's going to impact more industries or beyond just airsoft guns. We've got Hollywood, the movie industry, right? They use airsoft guns as replicas all the time because they look the part, and you can add some little special effects to make them go bang. TV industry. There have been many photos floated around the internet from guys on NCIS and NCIS LA and Hawaii 5.0 that are shown using airsoft guns. There's one that's Classic Army is clearly visible on the magwell. So they use airsoft guns in their productions. The gear industry, right? If all of us airsofters here in California suddenly have to paint our guns this ridiculous bright color, okay, what happens if we quit? What happens to the gear industry? Are people still going to be buying up, expensive tack gear left and right? I don't think so. And that means that the guys who are selling products to airsofters here in California just lost a huge market. So they're going to take a hit. Ultimately, this bill doesn't accomplish anything productive. What is the purpose of this bill? Why has this bill been introduced? The aim of the bill is noble, right? It's to protect kids from getting shot when they're walking around with their toys. But here's the thing. Airsoft guns are not toys. They're illegal to be sold to or given to minors without permission of the parents. So no politician will admit this, and I might catch some flack for it too, but here's the thing. Parents are responsible for their children with the airsoft guns. Okay? If your kid walks out of the house with an airsoft gun, you're responsible for what happens to your kid. If you are under 18 and you have friends with airsoft guns, okay, make sure they know what they're doing. If you're any age, if you're an airsofter, make sure that everyone in your community knows what's going on. We have to come together on this one, guys. We have to come together to work together to kind of fight this bill off. And that means that we have to unite. We have to educate each other. We have to share our knowledge. We have to, step over the boundaries of gear and guns and, I'm a impressionist, I'm a speed softer. It doesn't matter at this point because we're all in danger of losing our hobby. So educate each other. Parents, please be responsible for your kids. Educate them on the 4 rules of gun safety and where an airsoft gun is appropriate to be used, right? I'm pretty sure that most parents, when, little Timmy here asks, hey, Mom, can I get an airsoft gun? And you see what these things are, your first thought is, oh, my God, those look just like a real gun. Well, yeah. So treat them like that, right? Don't take it out in public. You know, he might be a 13-year-old, but as we've seen, that doesn't stop law enforcement from having to make a really difficult decision when faced with a child carrying a rifle. Please, guys, this is about responsibility and accountability. And within the community, we need to hold each other accountable. We need to be responsible. We need to be safe. So don't stop now. The bill goes to the Senate Appropriations Committee on Tuesday, the 21st of January, 2014, for a vote. It's likely to pass through the committee because DeLeon is the chair. Once it passes through the committee, it's on to either the California State Assembly or the Senate for a vote. And after that, if it passes, it goes to California Governor Jerry Brown, where hopefully he continues his habit of vetoing DeLeon's bills and vetoes that one should it get to his desk. So keep calling your representatives, keep calling your assembly members, speak to your family, speak to your friends. You know, if you're outside of California, share this video, share any posts you see about SB199. This is our final push here to keep our hobby the way it is. That's it for me, guys. It's been, I kind of spitballed this one straightforward, so I apologize for tripping over any words and not being clear about anything. Please talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your parents. If you're under 18, have your parents call for you. I'll put the link for all the phone numbers and the assembly members and senators in the bio, or excuse me, in the description of this video. And I'll also go ahead and put a link to the bill so you can see where it's going, what the wording is, and where it stands in the California State Legislature. Play safe, guys. Be safe, and don't stop calling. All right, be proactive. This is our bill. This is our hobby. We got to stop it. Again, I'm Maggiore Soap here from DevTac. Play safe, be safe, and make those phone calls this weekend.